What's up, guys? We're back again. We have another Curse Notes video today. It's the most disturbing camping encounters, so hopefully we'll have some fun with this one. Let's get on with it. No, straight away. No.
In October of 2023, a British YouTuber named Mike uploaded a rather bizarre video titled "The Woods I Will Never Camp In Again" on his channel Novice Wild Camper.
Okay,
Mike's channel
British.
is all about wild camping, with frequent videos showcasing his camping experiences in different parts of the UK. In this particular video, Mike decided to go on a solo overnight camping trip in the woods somewhere in the UK. Mike begins his video by venturing deep into the woods to find a good place to camp for the night. While exploring, he stumbles upon some peculiar footprints on the trail. He figures they must belong to a dog walker and continues on his way. After walking for a while, Mike finds a good spot and sets up his campsite. After setting up his camp, he shows his viewers the various camping gear he'd brought, and this is when he mentions hearing some strange noises nearby, but yet again he dismisses them, thinking it's just a small animal and doesn't think much of it. As the night begins to set in, Mike enjoys his dinner and decides to go to bed. However, at around 3 a.m., Mike was suddenly awakened by a series of rocks hitting the side of his tent, and this is when things take a very disturbing turn for Mike.
There's a huge amount of noises around here. Sounds like Bigfoot's throwing rocks at the hammock. I've had a couple of near misses and a couple of hits, but yeah, going for a fun night. See you in the morning. Right, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm actually sitting back in my car now. 3 o'clock, it just started hammering it down with rain. After the rain started, I could just hear crashing around that got nearer and nearer and nearer to my hammock. And every time I moved or got out to check, it stopped. But the weirdest thing was, suddenly by my hammock, massive thud hits the ground. I jumped up and there's a rock on the floor that wasn't there. And I'm just laying there listening. And then another one. This went on 3 or 4 times at least. And then a large branch hit my tarp. And every time I jumped up and got out, there was no movement, there was no nothing now. But this has completely freaked me out.
Mike mentioned that he heard rocks hitting his tent and heard some strange noises that were getting louder and louder, leading him to believe something or someone was closing in on him. However, when he went outside to investigate, the noises would suddenly stop. But as soon as he went back inside, the noises would start again.
So this is my point, right? If somebody's there to harm you, they're not going to be doing that, are they? Because they're not going to warn you that they're on the way. It's going to be, you're asleep, they're going to be there, bam, it's done. You're not going to even know, right? They're not going to be like, oh, wake up, we're coming for you. So, what is this? Like, and it's England as well, so, like, England ain't that scary. You're probably going to get a deer, if that. Muntjac.
By these bizarre encounters, he left his campsite and went back to his car. He anxiously stayed in his car until sunrise and eventually returned to his campsite. However, as he tried to make sense of what he had just witnessed, he heard the strange and mysterious noises once again.
This is seriously the weirdest forest I've ever camped in. I got back here and suddenly the tree next to me just crashes and the bushes are all shaking, but there's nothing in it, there's nothing there. It's full of creatures and animals running around. Things are just crashing down around me. It's all quiet and suddenly...
This guy's over-exaggerating it, really, isn't he? Like, it's the sound of the canopy that's been rained upon, like the canopy of the trees, and then the wind's just blowing it, and it's causing, like, the rain to just, like, come down a bit heavier. Because it's all hitting all at once, because the... Get it?
What happens? I don't like it here. I'm getting backed up.
See?
I'm under my tarp, cracking at my quilt, and there's this crash behind me. This doesn't land coming down. It bounces towards me. It hit the floor and was still rolling towards me. This place is freaked out. I am never coming back here again.
After hearing the strange noises for the second time, Mike, afraid for his life, immediately packed up his belongings and left the woods. On his way back to his car, he suddenly ran into someone walking near the woods, and their brief encounter quickly took a very disturbing turn.
I just got back to the car, and bearing in mind this road is like a dead-end road. No one comes down here, and for the entire night, no one had come down here. So, but I've come down here, and as I've stepped out of the woods, literally the entrance to go in there is just there. And there's a man just walking down the road by me, and he saw me, and he went, "All right," and I was like, "All right." He went, "You been camping in the woods?" I said, "Yeah, I just did a little hammock camp." And he says, he went, "You're brave." I said, "Why is that?" And he went, "People have done it before, no one's lasted." I said, "What do you mean?" And he just laughed, and he went, "You know what I mean." I walked off. But yeah, I won't pinpoint it to say, avoid this place, but I'm never going to come back here again.
The man mentioned that Mike was brave to have spent the night in the woods, and when Mike asked why, he told him about the dark history of deaths there and then just walked off. The man's identity and the truthfulness of his claims remain unknown, but to be safe, Mike kept the location of the woods a secret from his viewers to avoid them from going in there. It is still unclear whether Mike's experience was paranormal or something more sinister like a serial killer lurking in the woods. However, the lack of information about the man in the woods leaves the source of Mike's strange experience a complete mystery.
Not unfortunately. Fortunately, we don't have
Ik ga toch eens kijken, want hier staat
craziness.
in de verte een bungalow. Maar hier hangt letterlijk een bord met verboden toegang privaat en camerabewaking. Kijk eens aan. Oh manneke, dit is sketchy. Fuck, what the fuck?
This right here is a Dutch YouTuber named Sayaz, who in January of 2024 uploaded a video titled "The Night I Will Never Forget" on his channel Sensayaz. His YouTube channel focuses on urban exploration, and he often documents his adventures in abandoned places throughout the Netherlands. In this particular video, Sayaz, along with two of his friends, set out to investigate an abandoned campsite located deep within a forest. The video begins with the explorers driving into the woods to locate the abandoned campsite. After parking their car outside the forest, the explorers go inside the woods, where they quickly encounter signs warning them to leave. One sign indicates that the area is private property, while another sign warns them to beware of the watchdog. As they debated whether to go inside or leave, they suddenly heard a mysterious noise coming from the woods. One of the explorers called out, but he unfortunately didn't get any response. At that moment, they also heard a dog barking aggressively at something or someone. Concerned about the possibility of being chased or attacked by the dog, they cautiously looked in the direction of the barking, but they eventually built up the courage to continue with their exploration. However, little did the explorers know that the dog would be the least of their concerns. As they were making their way into the campsite, they suddenly heard a woman screaming nearby, and this is when things took a turn for the worse for the three explorers.
Hallo? Mogen wij hier wandelen? Hoort je het? Die deur. Ik hoorde ze...
Nee, dat is een beest.
Zeker?
Ja.
Oh, nee. Waar is dat?
Dat was een deur.
Dat is een deur, hè?
Hallo?
Ik kan de wind ook gaan, ja. Ik hoor van alles hier. Dit is zo fucking eng.
Hallo? Mogen wij hier binnenkomen?
Dit is zo creepy, maat. Dit is zo creepy, what the fuck? Ja, hoor, daar ergens. Dat is daar rechts. Daar ziet je een hutje. Dit hier, dat is een soort van hutje en daar staat een fiets bij. Ja, gewoon een wandelpad te zijn, dus hier kunnen wij wandelen. Wat rijdt hier?
Auto's en autobanden.
Autobanden. Dit hier is
I was
afgezet.
gonna say, there's
Kijk,
car
want
tracks,
hier
so it's a
staat in de
used
verte een
room.
bungalow. Maar hier hangt letterlijk een bord met verboden toegang privaat en camerabewaking. Kijk eens aan. Oh manneke, dit is sketchy. Fuck, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh. Dat is er niet mijn auto of zo, hè? Kom verder. What the fuck is dit, kerel? Ja, die komt naar hier. Kom naar hier. Blijf gewoon hier. Lamp aan of niet? Hallo? 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 What the fuck? What the fuck?
That's creepy. Like, that's mad.
Wat?
But there's like 3 of them.
Kom. Kom. What the fuck is dit?
It's evident that a woman holding an axe suddenly appears out of nowhere. When the explorers noticed her and they politely called her out, the woman, without speaking a single word, began chasing after them. Terrified for their lives, the trio immediately ran back towards their car. The woman, however, wasn't satisfied with just scaring them off and pursued them relentlessly all the way to their car. Disturbed by this bizarre encounter, one of the explorers eventually called the police.
Ik heb de politie gebeld. What the fuck is dit? Ja, ik ben het. Ja, is goed. Ja. Jij ook blijven. Ja, het is mevrouw, het is de laatste keer.
Nee, dat gaan we niet doen. Dat gaan we niet doen. Nee. Hey, gedaan. Nu is het gedaan, ja? Pak die lamp. Pak die lamp. Pak die lamp.
Even after the police arrived, the woman continued to cause trouble, firmly believing she had done nothing wrong. Nevertheless, the police managed to get a hold of her and ultimately arrested her. It's worth noting that during
crazy,
the
'cause
chase,
that's like
the
a
trio
real-
had separated, and one of the explorers hid behind a tree while waiting for his friends and the police, witnessing the woman removing and hiding their license plate, forcing the explorers to confront her again. It remains unclear whether the forest belonged to her and she was chasing them off for trespassing, or she was just a strange woman wandering the woods with an axe. Her behavior that night suggested
Like
she might have been meant.
Like, I get it. If you're chasing them off for trespassing, like, say, like, get off my land. Like, what the hell, man? Like, just baffles me.
Mentally unstable and possibly dealing with serious issues. Fortunately for the explorers, they managed to safely run away from the woman and didn't sustain any physical injuries during this bizarre encounter. However, Sayas later revealed that the experience had a profound negative impact on him and his friends, leaving them deeply traumatized. In May of 2008, a rather disturbing video was uploaded to a YouTube channel called Big Q. The footage shows a group of teenagers camping in the woods, laughing and enjoying themselves near a bonfire. During this time, one of the teenagers started recording as they placed a bottle on top of the fire to see what would happen. As the group moved back from the fire, they watched the bottle carefully while the camera kept on recording. It was at that moment that the camera recorded something strange moving behind one of the trees.
Is it loud?
No, it's just big. That's
You know
what
where
she
to put
said. Here, you put it in.
What if it falls? We're screwed.
Hey,
That's,
grab cable.
Start up right away.
it'll take not too long. Right in the center. See that?
Okay. Hey, hold on for a second. Put it in. Tell us all when you are.
Okay. You ready?
Is it gonna light the couch on fire?
No. It shoots up.
Okay, put it in. My phone's almost dead. Okay.
Second's hot. Perfect though. It'll take a minute. It'll start. No! Don't you dare do that.
Suck, is it just leaking out the bottom?
Yeah.
Dang.
Damn it. Hot enough to leak out the bottom?
He's one of their friends, surely. Like, he was hiding.
It's going. Got the
Oh, it
sleeves?
hasn't even blown up yet, has it?
No.
Oh, there it goes.
Go! Put the lid on. Oh!
Yeah!
If you look closely at the footage right before the big explosion, you can clearly see something or someone dressed in all white moving behind the trees. Disturbingly, none of the teenagers noticed this, as their full attention was on the burning bottle. It wasn't until they returned home and reviewed the footage that they spotted the figure walking through the trees. It's still unclear what this white figure was, but many comments on the video mention that the thing moving behind the trees could have been Bigfoot. However, it's very unlikely that the teenagers
In a white
actually
t-shirt.
encountered Bigfoot. Based on the tall, white appearance, it's more probable that they saw another camper walking through the woods.
That could have been like someone watching the kids in it, and then like, because obviously they're in that direction and everyone's got their phones out. Maybe he's just thought, mate, like, I need to get out of here before I get caught, like, doing something I shouldn't be doing. Like, so he's dipped out. Maybe it's just another camper. Like, the amount of times that I've been out camping, you know, and you meet other people camping, but usually they don't hide behind stuff. Oh no, let me know what you think in the comments. This was Curse Note, so go give him a subscribe as well. Much love, peace out, catch you next time, bye.